12,000 of the bravest of the brave, the soldiers of the IDF, the largest component, are American citizens, my son included. Now, that may sound great here. They came to defend America and Israel. They left safety, and they are the best of the best. I've seen them in my own eyes. They're all my sons. I feel they're all my daughters. The question is a very real, significant problem. You can ask your friend Tucker, who wants to call them traitors, genocidal, SS, fascist, killers, worthy of the SS, worthy of the Einsatzgruppen, sons and daughters of generation of the Holocaust. But a very practical matter. In my son's unit, I don't want to mention the unit. Half of them are lone soldiers from America, France, Belgium, who are fleeing because they cannot travel. They are outed. The Hague is looking for them. And the question, very practical question, I don't know whether the American embassy is ready for this. When the time comes, if they ever want to travel, even to the United States, even the United States, there have been calls, I guess, our new mayor of New York wants to basically obey the Hague over America. So I want to ask you a very practical question. To protect the best of the best, what will happen? Because I think eventually it's going to happen and be tested somewhere in this world. They're going to grab an American citizen they've identified. They know who they are. They know thousands of their names. They're preparing cases. One of my son's comrades had to flee Germany. Another had to flee South Africa, arrested. Another had to flee Belgium. When is it going to come in America? Are you prepared? And what will be done at that moment so they can be secure in what they have done for all of Am Yisrael and all of America, too? They fight for America here. They are not traitors to America, as they've been called publicly on television by politicians, and your friend Tucker, who says they should be stripped of their American citizenship immediately for fighting for a foreign country. So what will be done? Are you prepared? Is America prepared for when they will be arrested somewhere in this world?
Thank you. Very timely, because just last Wednesday, sitting at the Blair House with Marco Rubio and Prime Minister Netanyahu, Secretary of State Rubio brought up specifically, and he was the one who brought it up, that the U.S. is committed to doing everything it can to neuter both the ICC and the ICJ, the two entities that are pushing for these prosecutions, because the U.S. is very aware that if they can do this to someone who served in the IDF, they will do it to President Trump the moment he leaves office. They will do it to Secretary Rubio. They will do it to Vice President Vance. They might do it to me. There's no limit. These people have no sense of propriety or no sense of even right and wrong. It is a level of hate and a level of lawfare that is very dangerous and frankly is utterly unfounded by anything in legitimate law. So I have an extraordinary sense of confidence that I can tell you that the U.S. government is not just talking about this, it is actively pursuing a way to make it impossible for the ICC and the ICJ to carry out these nefarious actions against people for having dutifully served their country and their cause. And I would look for, and here's the kind of things they're talking: serious sanctions being placed on anyone and the countries who participate in it. You know, it's one thing to say we're not going to do business with Israel, but when a country decides it's not going to do business or it's not going to be allowed to do business with the United States, they put themselves in a very serious position of jeopardy economically. So it's a good question, and it's one that has the absolute utmost attention of this administration, and there are many efforts that will address it and prevent that from happening.